Welcome back to the Las Vegas Classic, a WDF Silver Ranking event. This is the final, featuring Rhian O'Sullivan taking on Sayuri Nishiguchi. I'm Sean Green, joined by Nick Dichiria. Nick, thanks for being my partner in comms this weekend.
Hey, happy to make a great pairing between the two of us here. It should be a great pairing in our final between these ladies. And it's going to be a wonderful showing. Sayuri making a little bit of a surprise upset there. Of course, if you ask any of the JDO fans, they're going to say, it's not a surprise to us. But a great performance by her over Hedman to make headway to this final.
Yeah, it was a 4-3 victory for Sayuri. Pinned tops to get the job done. Averaging 64 in the process. Rhian O'Sullivan has been a different beast today, though. Number one in the averages and has been in fuego this entire event. She averaged 82 in the quarterfinals against Leanne Topper, 71.5 against Tracy Firetag in that semifinal that we just watched, 76 against Renee Ripple in the top 16. In the top 32, Mandy Smith, she beat 4-0 with an 80 average.
Unfortunate bounce out there on the last start. Only 25 on the score. Rhian O'Sullivan going to be looking to make some magic happen here. Like you said, in dominant form, has been playing very well.
Sayuri's had a couple of high average matches, including almost a 70 in the quarterfinals against Wendy Ryan Stadler to beat her. So it is definitely in her wheelhouse to compete in this final. It's off to a slow start, but it's on Rhian's throw. And a reminder, it is a boost in the format. First to 5 legs here in the final.
So far, the power scoring of O'Sullivan has been an early note. It was a note in her last matchup. Tracy Firetag, a 4-0 defeat there, and no questions about that defeat as Rhian just looked in sharp form. Sayuri was also in similar top-level performance, but just got a little bit tight towards the end. Still was able to come out on top, though.
A reminder, we also have the men's going on currently. 1-3-5. Great setup play to leave 16.
And Sayuri just going to try to hit 100 to leave the 170 here. On good track to do so. Needs to keep the start straight. And I say that because her darts on the third one have been typically going left.
And it does pull into the treble 5 there. O'Sullivan does pin the bottom corner pocket. Don't call that dart baby, as it is a 1-0 lead for O'Sullivan, and it's just a hold a throw, but it's a massive statement, 16 darter right out the gate.
Early frustrations there. You can see making a big reaction as that first start got away, and a little bit of a haywire turn to get things going in leg number 2. Oh, and that's definitely going to feel like a haywire turn. Every time her darts fall on the floor, she scored 25. That's twice.
Yeah, for those of you just joining us that did not watch the semifinal with Sayuri Nishiguchi, she does close her eyes right before throwing every single dart. It is a very unique action in her throw, and one that you do not see very often at all. It definitely worked for her in that semifinal.
It's one of those things where you almost wonder if that started based off a dare, right? In the sense that, like, I know for a fact I've, with friends in casual matches, I said, so do you exhale or inhale when you're throwing the dart? Maybe she's like, yeah, I close my eyes before and then open them right as I throw.
You can see the form itself is just beautiful. And she's been covering very well. We noticed that in the semifinal, her cover shots on those 19s, many times hitting 2 trebles while doing so. And on the reverse side of things, Rhian O'Sullivan has been solid in every facet.
Smile on her face here, but knows she has work to do in this matchup. Does do so on that given turn, finding the 137.
Yeah, puts herself back in the leg. But O'Sullivan, another 140 to leave 100 after 12. O'Sullivan is firing on all cylinders. Of course, a former PDC Women's Series champion.
Quite the honorific to hold. And, of course, a finalist we saw yesterday in the gold event.
Yeah, currently ranked number 5 in the world on the women's WDF rankings.
You can definitely understand why with her performance.
Yeah, not as much there. Only 40 scored. Sayuri can put some pressure on after leaving just the bogey on 168.
Still going to be an outside opportunity only.
88 left. She can go at the treble or she can go at the 16s. She stayed there and again pulls it into the 5.
It's almost every single time if she's missing that dart, it's to the left. That might be for not. Oh, well, it will come into play now. 73 shot for Sayuri.
And that's a gift because O'Sullivan has been so brilliant on those doubling finishes.
14. We'll get a shot at the bullseye. Or up tops, excuse me.
And pins tops the Sayuri Nishiguchi. And it is a 1-1 scoreline. Hold a throw. Necessary hold a throw. And even though there's 15 points in the difference in the averages, the scoreline's 1 apiece in this first to 5 leg final.
Sorry, guys, I hit the wrong button on my calculator. Now, good grab of the leg there, especially with the fact that O'Sullivan's averaging almost 20 points higher. It just shows that as long as you have control on your throw, get your handful of opportunities and take them. Sometimes you have to fade a couple from O'Sullivan, but Sayuri absolutely capable of making the run here, and I don't think she's worth counting out. You need to know that she thinks she's going to win, and she has every right to think that. She just beat Hedman.
Yeah, and did so with a lot of nerves and being able to control them at the end of it. And again, great cover shot on the 19. Another 2 treble visit. Has been so impressive. Even with Rhian firing on a lot of cylinders right now. Almost 8 points on her average in the final for Rhian. But Sayuri staying with her. Almost walked that third dart. Did you see that?
Yeah, a little bit there. It was definitely a frustrating moment for her. As O'Sullivan, on the other hand, again, so dominant in her game against Tracy, it's hard to doubt that. And then a 401 over topper the round before that. She has just been very comfortable on the stage today. She's been very comfortable in her matches in the last few rounds. It's hard to question her ability to not win the title when she got so close yesterday.
In the men's side of things, the defending champion is out. Jeff Smith losing to Aaron Jalbert, father of Asia Jalbert, 4-2 in the top 32.
Like father, like daughter. Or like daughter, like father. In that case.
And yesterday's champion is out. In the gold event, David Cameron loses to Dustin Holt 4-3.
Yeah, our field reporter Jason Bernard letting us know that it happened with Dustin Holt taking out an 80 against him in that final leg.
Another big upset. Alex Spellman is out. Loses to David Fadum 4-3 in the top 32.
So here with an opportunity for 110 on the break of throw here.
Huge opportunity. You know, switch to the 18s. She does. Double 18 for a huge 110 checkout and a break of throw. Oh, and just goes inside. It was a good look, but the 90 not guaranteed. Oh, and she went that route. Yeah. I don't like that.
She nailed the treble 12 earlier. Doesn't mean that she was going to nail it there for sure, and I think that is a little bit of a mistake. Rare one from O'Sullivan. Misjudging the situation potentially.
And the double 9 does fall. Sayuri Nishiguchi continues to impress and is now in control of the match. That's a break a throw of O'Sullivan. I'm wondering if Rhian's going to question her decision to go the 18s on 90 left instead of the 20 route to ensure a shot at the bowl. And again, I love the facial reactions of Sayuri. She throws a pursuit arch in the 5 and just starts smiling at it.
She's having an absolute blast up there, isn't she?
She's got to feel like she's playing with house money here in Las Vegas.
Even then, still has eyes on the prize. At least sometimes she has the eyes on the prize.
I'm going to start doing that type of throw. Everybody at home who's watching along, try it on your board. See what happens.
I do love mimicking and trying out different throws to see. Yeah, like I wonder how that feels to try to release it like that. Her actual throw is everything. I don't know if I could even get myself to close the eyes properly and throw. It's seriously impressive though to have a habit like that and to be able to play as well as she does with it. It's something that is one of those things where it's unadvisable to some, doesn't mean that it's unadvisable to her.
The Sayuri's eye shut. So far working against the number 1 seed and the 5th ranked player in the world for the WDF rankings. And I said in the world.
See, just consistently finds that elbow positioning there, does a little dip, and then just throws right on through. Beautiful arc to her follow through. Sullivan still leading the fray in this one here. But Sayuri, with her throw, should be on a finish after this visit. Will be on a finish after this visit. Again, pulling to the left on that last start there. 85 scored. Could have done more damage. Sullivan leaving the 120 on the potential return.
Goes the 17 routes on the 142, which we're starting to see more often. It does not work for her. Now she's making a mess of this setup play and not going to put a lot of pressure at all on O'Sullivan to break right back. Shanghai.
She'll get a dart for double top. Does do it. Finds the Shanghai for O'Sullivan. Now making this 2-2 in this matchup here.
I always love when it's named beautifully, as that is a kidnapping of leg number 4 and of the throw, as we're back on throw with Rhian O'Sullivan.
Rhian back onto the treble 20s as well, it seems. Finding 1-2-1 to get things going. Her scoring bursts have just been nothing short of impressive. Her and Hedman were the ones hitting the biggest back-to-back multi-treble visits, and O'Sullivan's doing it really well today.
You can also see Nishiguchi almost side-eyes the board a little bit more. You can see her eye blinks with both eyes with the side angle, which is interesting, right? Her face is facing more away from the board than you would typically see. Very much uses her right eye dominance in the throw.
Yeah, and something that, again, she does very well. The eye-closing comments are, of course, mostly superfluous as we really focus on the fact that she does have good technique. She has good throw. She's playing well, and she's currently 2-2 in a silver final. Sullivan going to try to leave a finish here. 45 on the turn. Didn't take advantage of the bull. Didn't need to take advantage of the bull. Sayuri back at 374. Good collect on the last, though. Still finding that ever so helpful cover shot in the 19s. Not enough to really do too much headway in this leg, though.
And the setup play from O'Sullivan is going to be beautifully done. Leaves tops after 15 for a chance to take back control of this final.
And a good last start there. Does find the 20. Sullivan, though, like you said, poised to get the lead here. Does do so. 3-2 advantage. 2 legs left to go.
Number 1 seed trying to get the job done. Sayuri right back into the treble 20s. And almost gets the maximum, but it's a 1-2-1. O'Sullivan trying to match it. I believe got a 135. 95 scored instead. Let's give a huge shout out to our chalker, Russ Lysak, dad of Lane, that we saw earlier in this tournament.
Yeah, did chalk the other gold finals as well. Quite good at it, you have to say.
Yeah, he did joke with me that he has made 3 finals this weekend.
It's more than I've made ever in Las Vegas.
Made mention that Lane is jealous of that. Sayuri doing her job so far in this leg.
Yeah, just with the flow of the match, again, very methodical throw. Not the slowest pace throw I've ever seen on the Aki, but one that definitely has a stark contrast to O'Sullivan's, who has no nonsense. Almost no time between when that foot touches the Aki and when that dart leaves her hand. It's actually one of my favorite things to see. I'm a player myself where I like to take my time to get that extra setup in before actually throwing the dart. But it's hard to play against if you're a player that likes a certain pace to the match, as the bull does not go for Sayuri.
Yeah, it's one thing that we have not really mentioned, the methodical throw of Sayuri versus the rapid pace of Rhian. Typically, it favors the more methodical player if they're able to keep their pace, which Sayuri absolutely is doing.
Yeah, I have to agree there.
61 left.
Now, of course, O'Sullivan is a player that has played at the high level for a while now and is not going to be phased by a different pace of play.
Sayuri went to 25 to leave 36. And only 60 for Rhian. So Sayuri should have 2 clear darts and a double to tie this back up in the final.
Yeah, in close pursuit here. Looking for the double top. And nails it immediately there. No real hesitation at all. Again, a 10-point difference in average, yet all of a sudden, we're still 3-3 here. O'Sullivan to try to get to match point first, though, with the throw.
Great darts from Sayuri, who continues to impress and just be up for this challenge, even with Rhian throwing extremely well at an 81 average so far.
Well, Rhian throwing a 4-0, 4-0 as her last 2 matches, you just kind of expected her to not necessarily roll over Sayuri in this match, but to be further ahead than Chalk 6 legs in. You can see all the different players coming in the background to support. If you're wondering where that giant JDO audience is right now, a majority of them actually currently playing in matches, but as soon as their matches are finished, they've been trickling in the background here as there's other brackets going.
This is actually a fact that we have not mentioned so far. Rhian O'Sullivan, heading into the final, had not lost a leg.
Really?
Really?
I knew the last 2. I knew
Yeah.
she was 8-0 in the last 2.
Yeah, as soon as you mentioned that, I went back to check, and yeah, she is. She was perfect up to this point. Sayuri has taken 3, and that's the only 3 that so far Rhian has lost in this in this tournament.
So if O'Sullivan loses 5 legs on the day, it means she lost in the final.
Yep. How crazy would that be?
It would be quite insane. As on 161 after 9, by the way, it was on a potential 12.
Yeah,
Sayuri not contesting this leg as O'Sullivan looked poised to get that match point advantage.
yeah, Rhian is averaging 100 in this leg so far. Would love to take out the 101 for 15, just to make a little statement. 81 left, treble 19, or treble 15. Just going to set it up beautifully. Leaves 36. All Sayuri can do is try and hit multiple trebles of the big variety. And does cover nicely.
Yeah, those 19s have been beautiful for her. I mean, she's been switching to them almost perfectly, and it might come into play here, as that was O'Sullivan going well inside on the double 9.
Sayuri has not gone the tops route so far. She's stayed at top first start in these situations. Does so again. 51 left.
It's going to apply pressure to the situation here. But now O'Sullivan gets a redemption shot here at the double 4. And she's all over it. It doesn't go. That's going to be frustrating here, as Sayuri has a chance to break to go into the to a match point scenario.
And Sayuri has been fantastic on tops. And is so once again, and is now in control of the match. 4-3 lead in a race to 5 for Sayuri Nishiguchi. Another potential upset. She would have beaten the number 2 seed and the number 1 seed to win this title if she does so.
And you can hear the crowd starting to get a little bit louder, a little bit in their chants there from the JDO supporters. As Sayuri knows she has a job to do. She knows she needs to get it done here. She does not want to go to another last leg nervy affair like she did against Hedman.
And again, let's point out just the impressive situation we have brewing. In the semifinal, it was the 1 seed versus the 4 seed, and the 2 seed versus the unseeded Sayuri Nishiguchi, the only unseeded player to even make the quarterfinal. Well, second. Leanne Topper also made the quarterfinal as an unseeded player.
Mm-hmm.
But that just shows the impressiveness of what is occurring. The WDF 5th-ranked player in the world in trouble in the silver ranking event, the Las Vegas Classic, which is setting up to be an absolute classic.
It certainly is. Sayuri just doing everything right at the moment. And O'Sullivan not doing much wrong. There was a couple of errant darts towards the end of checkouts that's been costing her in a leg and match that otherwise looked like it was completely in her favor. Thoroughly impressed with the resilience from the Japanese player.
And after this, we go straight into coverage of the men's Las Vegas Classic. So don't go anywhere at the conclusion of this final. Only 45.
Yeah.
When do you start thinking about the finish line? Yeah, I know you shouldn't, but when do you start doing so automatically?
After I've won or lost the match is the correct answer, as you pointed out there. You're going to be thinking about it once you get into a setup range.
Now, right?
Yeah. At this point, you're thinking, okay, I have to get myself this opportunity. I have to take this opportunity. And shanks that first. Again, missing to the left. If she misses the 20, it's to the left every single time.
Yeah, that one was worse. Oh, my goodness. She is definitely thinking about this finish line right now.
Yeah, this is very uncharacteristic of the performance we've seen so far.
Understandable in this situation, but she's got to find control. That was a spread out 26.
Well, Sullivan effectively taking the darts now. What will she do with them? She'll pepper the 20s.
And did not switch and leaves a bogey. That is a big mistake, as it gives now Sayuri 6 darts for the match automatically.
Sayuri does find the treble 20 there. She's going to have a pretty good finish at this leave. Does get to a 2-dart finish at 91 here. Sullivan on the bogey, as you mentioned there, Sean, in some trouble.
For the massive upset, Sayuri Nishiguchi, 91 left. Treble 17. Misses it, can still save it. Treble 18. Or sorry, treble 20 will leave double 14 for the title. Just a bit outside, which is understandable, but will she be back? O'Sullivan must hit this 106, and she's going to get a dart.
Oh, no. Wait a second. Rolls the shoulders there. That was an intense moment. 26, Leonard Gates special here in Las Vegas. Doesn't go. Sayuri with another opportunity at 28. A chance to hold the title. A chance to get the upset done again. The unseeded player on a quest. It's almost destiny in her darts. On the 14. Needs to work in. It's going to be a little bit awkward. All over the wire. She needs to use her force of will. Command the dart to go into the double. And doesn't do so.
Wow. Threw fantastic darts at it. You could see, again, she shows pressure by smiling. And she did that through all three of those darts. And unlucky. Now, the 13, and she busts. Oh, my goodness. Another opportunity for Sayuri.
You can see it. She's tapping her chest.
I mean, she threw great darts there on all four, or on three. Can she get this one to count? Double 14.
She needs to settle. She's doing so well at it. She's all over. It has to go.
Oh, that was as snatchy as it gets. Double 7.
Doesn't go. The match is getting to her a little bit. The pressure of the moment is getting to her a little bit. You can see shaking her hands. O'Sullivan, confirming the darts outside, is in disbelief at the situation and gives herself a little bit of a roar as we're going to a last league decider, Sean Green.
Yeah. Oh. Almost pulled the Scott Hanish. Rhian O'Sullivan will have the throw in the last league decider. Did Sayuri Nishiguchi give it away on those misses on the double 14? We will find out here soon. But if you're Rhian O'Sullivan, this is a shark smelling blood in the water.
Well, if you're Sayuri, you're thinking, well, I did mismatch darts in a 3-1 advantage against Dita Hedman, so maybe it's just a good sign for me altogether. Although that was one in a scrappy last league decider. She can't be scrappy here. She needs this to be perfection or dang near it.
And matching 45 starts. I'm expecting this to be an absolute scrapper of a last league decider as the pressure building for both.
Just big, deep breaths. Everyone has their own tick, their own idiosyncrasy that really helps them try to stay calm when they're playing in moments like these. But it doesn't matter what trick you have, you know your heart's racing. Final going the distance. What else could you ask for here?
I mean, and I'm telling you, this is a edge of your seat. They're both performing very well up to this point. There's been missed match starts. There's been missed doubles. And there's been a lot of powerful scoring. That first start in there for Sayuri needs another one, you think.
That's a solid scoring round, but you expected it to be the first real big strike. Instead, it was just a moderate jab.
Right now, every treble, big treble, is gold in this last leg decider. Every single one.
Continuing to fight down to the wire here. No one on a breakaway yet. Sayuri is taking the darts, though, from O'Sullivan. Starting to run with him just a little bit here.
2:20 after 12. Sullivan going to regroup a little bit.
It's easy to get caught up in the antics of the moment. I like it when she slows herself down. Those darts were a lot more collected out of her.
Yeah, and especially because she was throwing before Sayuri was getting past her, and she's in her peripheral vision with her exiting that side. So I like that really well. But this is a beautiful first dart. A 140 is huge here from Sayuri. And it is a big 140. She's on 80 after 15. All O'Sullivan can do is put pressure on the 80.
Sayuri once again finding herself out in front in a scenario where, you know, she needs the extra darts. She felt the pressure last time. You saw her shaking her hands. You saw her pantomiming towards her chest. Well, now your heart's still racing and you still have to hit the shot, girl.
Just got to stay straight to leave a dart at your favorite double. We'll do that. Tops for the title. Will she come back? O'Sullivan, an outside shot on the 135. Well, she'll start on the bowl.
Yeah, she has to make sure to maximize every bit of this throw here. You can't leave anything to chance. She does find the 25 up to the 20.
That's a good marker, too, on the bowl. Doesn't get it.
Well sunk on that dart. 3 at double top here. Sayuri, once again, your destiny is calling. Are you here to answer? The double top stands in your way. Your favorite double on the dartboard. Right on the wire. Good marking dart. Pulls it down over to the double 10. Once again, having trouble at the finish line. Doesn't cross the line once again. More match darts missed.
Rhian O'Sullivan, 86. It might only be one dart at the bowl. It is not. She misses the big target, and this is a big moment once again for Sayuri Nishiguchi. More match darts incoming. She might not get any more. She's got to hit it this here. Double 10 for the win. Just inside. Double 5. She likes tops. She's just got to stay loose. Maybe this dart automatically goes outside. Yeah. Attack right now for the title. And it just goes on the other side of the wire outside. Rhian O'Sullivan gets 2.
And so many missed opportunities. It's starting to eat at her alive. Was that her last opportunity at the dartboard? It was her last opportunity as Rhian O'Sullivan gets it done, surviving countless match darts there, Sean.
Yeah, heartache for Sayuri Nishiguchi, but Rhian O'Sullivan, classy as ever, gets the job done. The number 1 seed defeats the unseeded Sayuri Nishiguchi, who had an absolutely amazing tournament and run, but absolutely earned for Rhian O'Sullivan, your champion of the Las Vegas Classic WDF Silver Ranking event.